Welcome to Jewels of the Trade. Today, we're talking about Water Jade, the icy green variety of Jadeite Jade, highly valued for its color and translucency. There are two gemstones called jade, nephrite jade and jadeite jade, also known as fei choi. While some fine nephrite jades can have translucency, the more rare of the two jades, jadeite jade, is known for its illusion called inner glow, a result of how the stone interacts with light. Water jade, the icy green variety of jadeite jade, is characterized by its green hue, light tone, notable translucency, and in fine qualities, a luster or surface texture that appears wet, as well as an apparent glow. Water jade is a trade term, which means it's not an established scientific term. It's subjective depending on the seller or customer. I'm going to go over the three most common meanings of water jade. The first meaning is how I use water jade. Mason K and many other suppliers say water jade when referring to jadeite jade with an icy, meaning translucent, light green color that kind of looks like water. As you can see here, not all light green jade is water jade. The bangle on the right is mottled, has poor texture, and is very opaque. It's also a gray green and it's not as bright in tone. The bangle on the right would never be called water jade, whereas the cab on the left with its translucency and inner glow is a fine example of water jade. Some sellers may use the term water jade to refer to the luster or texture of a jade, irregardless of color. And more recently, a light blue-green variety of Guatemalan jadeite jade that some would call ice jade is also being called water jade. Because water jade can have multiple meanings and has no established standards, there may be disagreement between sellers about what is and isn't water jade. If you're shopping for water jade or icy green jade, you might clarify what you mean when you ask the seller for it and make sure that you're both using the same terminology. Before we jump into product, I want to thank Mason K. Jade for providing these items so that I can use this video to educate customers about water jade appearance and pricing. If you would like to purchase any of the items in this video, you can email chris@masonk.com or shop the link in the video description. Using the discount code JOT helps support this channel and gets you 10% off your purchase. Translucency is one of the most important value factors of jadeite jade. Highly translucent jades are not only desirable in appearance, but also tougher due to their internal structure. Both nephrite jade and jadeite jade are two of the toughest gemstones in the world, so an unfractured jade stone of translucent quality is considerably harder to break than a diamond of the same cut, shape, and size. A fine internal structure, one that creates translucency in a jade stone, can also contribute to the appearance of a jade's luster. They say that you can tell jade is fine when it looks like it's wet, and these earrings certainly do. The craftsmanship on these earrings is characteristic of Chinese jade carving techniques, and you can see the material has real depth to it. If anyone has questions about jade, please leave them in the chat or comments. Who all's here? Say hi in the chat and let me know what you prefer in a jade stone, color or translucency. This is a very fine ring with almost half a carat total weight of natural diamonds in 18 karat white gold. This water jade cabochon is truly exceptional. How much do you think this ring costs? Let me know in the chat. While you guess the price, I'll answer a common question about jade. Is there jade that has been treated to look like water jade? I recently gave a talk at a museum and took a handful of samples with me, which is why this bangle is numbered and in a bag with a description on it. This bangle is not natural jade. It's a type of treated jadeite jade called B+C jade, meaning that it has been acid bleached, impregnated with polymer wax or resin, and dyed. It's impregnated to look translucent and dyed to have a watery green color. So yes, treated jade can absolutely look like fine water jade. Water jade is very valuable. A bangle can easily cost tens of thousands of dollars, so it's worth it for unscrupulous sellers to treat jade and sell it as natural, which is why it's so important to shop with a trustworthy seller. Jeff Mason, co-owner of Mason K. Jade and GIA graduate gemologist, let me borrow this sample of the 3 phases of B Jade for my talk at the museum. So thank you, Jeff. Jeff is an expert on jade identification. In fact, if you ever send jade in to Mason K to have it tested, Jeff is actually the one who tests it for you. Just to clarify, Mason K absolutely does not sell treated jade. They just keep examples like this on hand for education. Again, they do not sell it. This piece of jade here is an example of the kind of jade that would be treated. So this is natural, untreated, genuine jadeite jade, but it's not of a sellable quality. This jade came from a boulder that is fractured, crumbly, has large crystal sizes and large inclusions. It's not wearable. You can't make a bangle out of material like this. It will just break. Stones like this are often sent to be treated. Some treated jade is disclosed, but unfortunately, a lot of treated jade is sold as natural. So customers end up vastly overpaying for poor quality jadeite jade. This is low quality, crumbly, albeit genuine, jadeite jade that has been soaked in hydrochloric acid. So we call this jade bleached. Some jade is sold like this, but not often. Bleaching is usually a prerequisite for impregnation. This is low quality, genuine jadeite jade that was bleached, then impregnated with either polymer, wax, or resin using a centrifuge, forcing polymer into existing fractures and expanding them. This, on the left, is B plus C jade. It has little to no value. It has no sonority. It's very brittle. It can have unstable color, and it has even been known to leak small amounts of acid. You can see it looks much more translucent than it would have when it was originally mined, and even more translucent than when it was bleached. It's like a Franken-jade, part plastic and part jade. But treated jade can look very, very natural, as you can see. And in fact, when I compare this piece next to the water jade ring, it kind of gives you a perspective on how realistic it actually kind of does look. All right. Did you guys guess the price of the water jade ring? Mason K is here. Hello, Chris and Jeff. Welcome to the chat. We're so happy to have you. Justin is here. We're so glad that you're here. And Justin prefers translucency first and color second. And Justin also is thanking Mason K. Everybody, I am just so honored that Mason K sent these pieces. I'm just thrilled that I was able to videograph them, because having examples like this is so important for customers as they're learning, so that they don't accidentally make a mistake with their jade purchase. And then Mason K also wanted me to clarify that of these samples here, these 3 pieces are actually from the same boulder. They all 3 came from the same boulder. So the natural one, the bleached one, and then the polymer impregnated one, it kind of gives you like a really, really good understanding of the process that jade goes through. Erica has a guess on the ring. She's guessing 2,500. What do you guys think? It's a lot higher than that. It's a good guess. It's a good guess, because it's always kind of hard to tell with these, especially on camera. But no, this is definitely a fine piece. I think it is time for the reveal. This ring is worth over $10,000. So that is why low quality jade ends up being treated. Low quality, crumbly jades are almost worthless. So manufacturers will treat them and sell them for unfairly high prices. Now, the stone isn't worth $10,000, but it's worth quite a bit. I mean, we're probably looking at, I don't know, a $2,500, $3,000 mounting or so. Maybe, hard to say. I don't know for sure. But the jade stone is still worth thousands. But if a treated jade stone that looks like this is selling for $2,000, an unsuspecting customer will think they're getting an amazing deal, and they'll purchase it with the belief that it's natural. We always say in jade, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Make no mistake that natural jadeite jade of this quality is rare and valuable. Mason K Jade offers jade testing services to the public, so they've told me horror stories about people buying expensive jade overseas and then finding out that it's treated only to be denied a refund and have no recourse because they purchased the stone out of the country or on a cruise. Those stories are part of why I want to bring real jade and the prices of real jade to viewers of my channel so that customers will know when something seems off about a seller or about like a piece of jade and its price. If you want to make a purchase from a US based seller, Mason K Jade is located in Colorado and guarantees that every piece they sell is natural, meaning untreated. They're able to do this because they are experts in jade testing and they actually offer that in house. In fact, if you have a piece of jade that you would like to have tested, you can send it to them. They also offer valuing services if you need an appraisal. Do you have any water jade in your jade collection? Share photos of your personal collection with the Jot audience by joining the Jot Discord, link below, to connect with collectors, miners, carvers, sellers, and researchers of nephrite jade and jadeite jade. Let's check the chat and see what everybody's saying. A lot of enthusiasm from Justin. Justin, we're so glad that you're here. Dake wants to know, what's the value of just the cab? Mason K, are you still here? Can you sort of help with this question? Because I'm curious myself. I don't know exactly how much that mounting is. That half a carat total weight of diamonds goes a long way with the price, and especially having two matched ovals like that. It's more expensive than if you were to just have like really small melly going down the side of the ring. So Mason K, if you're here, we would love to know the price of the cab, or maybe like an estimated price of a cab like that, just for reference. Let's go ahead and move on. These stones are different saturations of water jade, with the outer stones being icy white jade. I really love wearing this necklace, mainly because it goes with all of my outfits and it stacks really well with other necklaces. I want to be a water jade girl. I guess I kind of am a water jade girl, but I want to be a water jade girl that owns like a $30,000 water jade bangle, and I'm just not there yet. What do you guys think? This necklace is adjustable. It has 2 jump rings, so it can be worn at different lengths. It's a very modern, contemporary design, which is something Mason K is known for. Chris Mason, aka Chris the Jade Lady, designed this necklace. I can't even wrap my brain around how she sourced similarly sized stones in a gradient. It probably took a long time to find these beads to put them together. Do you all prefer water jade in white gold or yellow gold? Let me know in the chat. This ring has a water jade in the center with green jade stones on the side. Water jade is valuable because of its allure and translucency and the fact that it's still technically green, which is the highest valued color of jadeite jade. But make no mistake, if this center stone were the same translucency but a saturated apple green, then this piece would be much more valuable. Okay, so on this ring, Mason K is saying that the ring mount, so I was low on my estimate for the mounting because I was thinking $2,500 to $3,000, but I'm not going to lie. I didn't weigh it and I didn't measure the stones. So the mounting is actually around like $3,500 to $4,000, if that gives you a better idea of the price of the stone by itself. Dake, oh, why, thank you. I think so too. I chose that nail color because it's lavender like jade. And I love lavender jade and yellow gold. I mean, I actually prefer it. I know a lot of people prefer it in white gold. Erica has seen this one on the site. It actually looks a lot better in person, and it looks the best in sunlight. And now that I think about it, Erica was actually probably talking about this one. This is probably the piece. But they're both really, really beautiful. And again, this one also looks really good in sunlight. That's something about water jade because of the translucency. Like, this studio lighting is actually not ideal lighting. Like, it does look a lot better in the sun. But jade is so three-dimensional, and that glow is very difficult to capture with a camera. In my opinion, a lot of jade usually looks better in person, and that definitely applies to the pieces that we're looking at today. Lavender jade is Justin's favorite. Yeah, I'm a big fan. It is the second highest valued color of jadeite jade, and I do have videos on this channel where we dive into lavender jade quality and pricing. I have one on carvings and I have one on cabs to kind of give customers, sellers, and appraisers an idea of pricing for lavender jade because I think it's pretty misunderstood. I think a lot of people don't realize just how rare and how valuable it is. Yeah, Erica said that's why she gets 2,500. Exactly. That's totally it. And yeah, the diamonds on the side of that ring, this ring here, yeah, I don't know exactly how big they are, but anytime you have large side stones like that, when you have two that are matched, like it's going to mean a higher price than you probably initially think. Why, thank you, Justin. Justin says that my camera angles are 10 out of 10. That is such a compliment. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Yes. This ring, this one here, hold on. This one here is absolutely fabulous. Just a reminder, if anybody has any questions about jade, leave them in the chat. We're happy to answer any questions that you may have. This hue here is an icy yellow green. It's different. So it's more affordable compared to a smaller size carving that might have better tone and saturation. The translucency is what really makes this carving appealing, as well as the streaks of moss green running through. And of course, the rooster depicted in the carving is a desirable carving. So while this is not cheap by any means, it's a relatively affordable carving in natural jadeite jade. Really a special piece. Now this is a fine jade carving. Can you guess how much this carving costs? You could call this water jade, but it does have those like bright spots of vivid green on it. So you could also just call this a green jade carving or an icy green jade carving. The surface looks wet even when it's dry. It has a really great luster. I've actually shown this piece on the channel before because it really is a special piece. And I have a whole video on the symbolism of Lingzi mushroom carvings in jade. If you want to check that out, the link is in the video description. So one of the questions that I really wanted to tackle is what causes translucency in water jade? So jadeite jade, when it metamorphizes repeatedly as a geological process in the earth, it actually makes it so that the crystals inside the jade stone become smaller and smaller and smaller. And that means that the space between those crystals becomes less and less and less. And when you have those very compact crystals that are very small and very close together, it increases the durability and translucency of a jade stone. So in the case of water jade is a very highly translucent and durable jadeite jade stone that just has a little bit of green to it. And again, when it's like more highly saturated, it's going to be more valuable. I also wanted to answer this question. How do you know if your jade is natural or treated? I've talked about this a lot on my channel, and unfortunately, there's not like a really great at-home test to be able to tell. So my best recommendation is to actually reach out to Mason K Jade. They offer jade testing services to the trade and the public. You could also send it to GIA or AGL, but Mason K usually has a faster turnaround and might even be less expensive than those. So I encourage you to visit their website, masonk.com, to learn more about that. All right, looks like we have some activity in the chat. Oh my goodness, there's so much going on. The mushroom shape did come from the Lingzi, but I usually hear it being referred to as Rugi. Yes, let's talk about this. Okay, so I'm going to pull up that carving again. Did I do the price reveal on this one? I haven't yet. Ooh, okay. So the Lingzi on this, I think it is a Ruyi. I think you're right, Dake. So a Ruyi is a scepter, and often on the end of that scepter is the Lingzi symbol. So sometimes you'll see a carving, and if it's just the top, like just the mushroom, then it's probably just a Lingzi. But if it has a really long stem, then it's actually probably a Ruyi, and it's symbolizing that scepter. So that is correct. I think it could still be called either or because the Ruyi has a Lingzi on it. But yeah, when you have that stem, it probably is more appropriate to call it a Ruyi. Oh, Rockin' Wheelers wants to know about the gravity test. So the specific gravity test is actually very useful to gemologists, especially if you have like the specific gravity liquid. However, you can really only use specific gravity with unmounted stones. So if the jade stone is in a ring or a pendant or anything like that, unfortunately, the specific gravity is not going to do you any good. I also want to mention that it's not totally reliable 100% of the time. Whereas the type of advanced gemological testing that Mason K uses, which is called FTIR, it's a type of infrared spectroscopy, is reliable. So I hope that that was helpful. Let's see what else we have in the chat. Leazure, I'm so happy that you're here. Love how the Ruyi scepter went from originally being a back scratcher all the way to a scepter for royalty or both. My favorite Ruyis that I have seen were actually at the Luzzadro Museum of Lapidary Art in Chicago. If you haven't been, I highly recommend going. They have some really beautiful, I think they were like Qing era Ruyis, and they're big. They're like this big, and it's when you see it in person, then it really like makes more sense when you see the carving in jade. Is Mason K testing jadeite only or also nephrite? So Mason K can determine if a stone is jadeite jade. If it's jadeite jade, they can determine if it's treated, and they can even offer valuation. Now, if it is nephrite jade, they can give you that opinion. However, nephrite jade on the US market is almost never treated. So that's not necessarily like something that you would need to get an opinion on, and they do not offer valuation on nephrite jade at this time. Two Genders is here. Welcome. Hi, I'm so glad that you're here. We are just about to reveal the price of this Ruyi / Lingzi Water Jade carving. It's fantastic. $8,100. So if you're shopping for a piece of this caliber and you don't want to shop online, I totally understand. It's important to be confident in your jade purchase. And of course, jade always looks like a little bit different in person. And like I said earlier, it's very hard to capture on camera. So in this case, with this piece, it definitely looks better in person. Talk to your local independent jeweler about sourcing jade from Mason K Jade. They are actually a wholesale supplier based in Colorado and can send pieces to your jeweler for you to see in person before making your selection. There's also a list of Mason K retail partners on Mason K's website if you want to visit one of the stores from that list to make your jade purchase. Is it okay to wear two jade pendants at the same time? Yes. Yes, absolutely. In fact, I recommend it. So I think a lot of people have concern about jade like scratching other pieces of jade, but the nature of jade carving usually leaves like kind of a rounded surface, so it's not going to be damaging to other pieces of jade. And in fact, I've seen a lot of people like wear two bangles together and they not scratch each other, two pendants together and they not scratch each other, layers of jade beads not scratch each other. And like I said, it's just that curvature of the surface, so it makes it a little bit harder for it to like really get pressure in. I do warn always against mixing jade in your jewelry box with anything else, because like diamonds can scratch other diamonds if they're in the jewelry box together. Diamonds can obviously scratch sapphires and jade and amethyst and everything else. And while jade probably wouldn't scratch something else, it certainly could if it's lower than jade on the Mohs hardness scale. So that is something to keep in mind. Always be very, very careful with your jewelry, especially when storing it. What else do we have in the chat? What is the amount for testing the stone? Okay, so I think you're asking about rough jade here, and Mason K actually does not offer rough jade testing. I'm not exactly sure who does that. You might have to like slice a piece off and send it to like GIA, the Gemological Institute of America. As far as the price of just regular like mounted jewelry jade testing, I think it's like $100 or $110 if you get the written report. I'm not sure. Mason K, are you here? Can you help me out? I don't know all the prices. Oh, Erica, you guessed $8,000. Oh my goodness, you're so good at this. I don't even understand how you do it. Did I miss it? Did you? You did. You did put it in here, and I didn't see it. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. We have another price guessing one. Okay, are you ready? How much do you think this carving is? Also, if anyone watching is a seller or appraiser who wants to learn more about jade, trustworthy professionals in the US jewelry industry are invited to register for Mason K's online portal, the Mason K Showroom, for viewing their inventory and placing wholesale orders. You can contact Mason K directly for more information or visit masonKshowroom.com. Let's see what we have going on in the chat. Yeah, I'm sorry, Erica, I missed it. I don't know why I didn't see it, but I totally believe that you guessed the right price because you often guess really, really well. All right, Two Genders is guessing $3,500 on this carving. Erica is guessing $1,500. Oh, Mason K says that if you have your jade tested and you only want an emailed result, it's only $70. If you get a printed report for authenticity, so if it's like printed on paper and mailed to you, then it is $110. Okay, Leazure is also thinking around 3,500. Let me give you guys a little bit of a hint. So we're looking at the center carving here. Very translucent, but thinner than the previous carving. Lighter saturation throughout. This is not as valuable as the carving that we looked at before. I think you guys already realized that. So this is your hint. The center carving is more than $765, but it's less than $8,100. Yeah, Erica says the texture is not as good. I think having them side by side, like you can really tell the difference. It's a really great piece. And also keep in mind, we are looking at it through a macro lens. So we're looking at it like really, really close up. And of course, when you're wearing it, some of these fine details are not going to be so enhanced. Yes, it is yellower. It's kind of unfair to put it next to the one on the right with the Ling Z, just because Ling Z's. I'm sorry, because there's multiple, or Ruyis, because yeah, when you have the yellower jade, it's not usually going to be as desirable. It's kind of like a little bit of a bluer jade. Obviously, a true green is going to be ideal, but I think between yellow green and blue green usually wins out. And then, yeah, the one on the right is just really spectacular. I mean, it's $8,000. Like, it's just fantastic. Yeah, I mean, compared to 8,000, they're all beautiful. And it, like I said, it's unfair to set them like next to each other. I would accept any one of these. I think they're all fantastic. Okay, it's time for the price reveal. You guys were right. $3,375 for this translucent icy green jade carving. Well done, everybody. You guys did so good. Instructions unclear. I'll take both. You guys cracked me up. All right, everybody. This is sort of an iconic water jade look. It's icy. It's sort of a bluish green. It has little floating spots of color. A lot of times when you say water jade, this is what we're picturing. Rockin' Wheeler likes the rooster the best of the three. Oh my, I love the rooster. And it looks like, especially like by itself, when you don't compare it to anything else, I mean, it looks just absolutely fantastic. It's just really unfair to put anything next to that $8,000 carving. But yeah, absolutely love the rooster. Definitely. So this piece is also available on Mason K's website, link in the video description, and you can receive 10% off if you check out using the discount code JOT for Jewels of the Trade. Thank you so much for joining me during this live stream about water jade, and don't forget to join the Jewels of the Trade Discord and share photos from your jade collection.